Alright guys, Chris here. I want to do a series of videos on introduction to reloading. It's not going to be really a how-to video, it's more of a informative video on things to help you to get started on reloading. Like if you want to know if you want a single stage press or a progressive press, or what press I like and what I use, and some of the equipment I use, and some of the equipment that you're going to need to get started, because everyone thinks they just need to get a press. Well, there's more things to it, like even buying a primer tray. You know, there's another expense. I mean, there's plenty of things that you would need to buy on top of that, and I'll show you guys a video of that later. This video is going to be about which press is right for you. Now, I have the Dillon 650 XL, and I went with that because it's fast. It's not that hard to use. People are scared of these progressive presses, but really once you figure them out, it's not that bad. Like I said, this press going slow, 300 to 400 rounds an hour, and that's going like slow. And this is set up for 9mm. 9mm is a great load to start on if you're learning how to reload. Even 45, 308, 223. You know, they're all pretty good to start off on reloading, and 357 is not too bad. 38 special. A lot of people like to load 38 for the cowboy shooting stuff. But which press is right for you? That's the question that I get asked a lot starting, because people want to get started in the reloading, they want to get a press, they don't know which one, they don't know the difference between a single stage, progressive, they don't understand any of that. So single stage press, I have never used a single stage press. I started on the 550B. That's just one step down from this. It has 4 stages, so every time you pull the lever, it does 4 stages at once. So it's a lot. It's a time saver. You save a lot of time. Single stage press, you have to do each individual stage using your one press, just one stage. So it gets pretty time consuming because you have so many different stages that you're gonna have to do. So you'll run 100 rounds, deep priming, resize, and then you'll do another 100 rounds where you put the powder in, then 100 rounds where you put the bullet in, and you seat it. And usually the dies have a seating and crimp die on the same die. So there you're already doing 3 different things. On the primer stage, you got to put the primers in too, which is another stage. So you have 4 stages, which means you got to pull the lever 4 times, make 1 round. So single stage press I would recommend for guys who are only going to reload maybe 100 to 200 rounds a year of a certain caliber. Like I said, my buddy shoots 300 Win Mag. He reloads about 100 rounds a year using a single stage press, and that's all the reloading he does. So now cost, your single stage press, I'm not really sure what those are running right now. I know you can get them for around 80 to 100 bucks. Sometimes you can find them used on eBay, but it's the dies, and sorry, my allergies are kicking my butt today. You're gonna have to get dies, a powder throw, some kind of scale, and you'll need some other stuff too for loading for a single stage, which, like I said, plenty of videos on YouTube that will give you more information than I can, since I've never used a single stage press. So that being said, your cost, I don't know what's going to be. I'm thinking around 300 to 400 bucks after everything you need. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about single stage presses. I just know that they take a long time. Now, if you're going to reload pistol calibers, and I said this in my Q&A video, if you're only reloading straight wall pistol caliber, which is like, you know, shooting a 357, 10mm, 9mm, 380, things like that, I would go with the Dillon Square B deal. It's a progressive loader. It's a 4-stage pistol caliber only, straight wall pistol only. But since it's pistol only, you could change. So if you're reloading 3 or 4 different calibers for your pistol, that'd be the way to go. It's going to cost money to buy dies and a powder throw. Again, sorry, my allergies are bugging me. It's going to cost money to buy your powder throw. The Dillon powder throw is about 100 bucks, and then plus your dies and your tool head. So you're looking at maybe around 200 bucks to do another caliber. But once it's set, that's it. It's like that Ronco commercial. Set it and forget it. Unless you change to a different grain or a different type of bullet. Like we did hollow points on the 550, and we had to adjust for the hollow points because they're a different size than your full metal jacket. So, but when I changed to a different grain or different size bullet, like if I went to a 100 like a I don't know, if you went to like 158 grain back to 125 grain on a 357, you might have some changes there to be made, and it'll be real slight, so you'll change them. And I usually don't like doing that. If I change it, it better be for at least 500 rounds to make it worthwhile. If my buddy came over for like 50 rounds of hollow points and said, hey, let's do these, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to spend 45 minutes adjusting my dies just to run 20 rounds or even 50 rounds. I'm like, no, it has to be make it worthwhile. So now, other than that, now should you get the progressive or stick to the single stage? It depends on how many rounds you want to reload. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Are you looking for quantity, quality, or just having fun? Now, the Dillon, I mean, you're still doing quality rounds. You know, you're cranking out a lot of rounds, but there's still quality. Some guys with a single stage, they get their digital scale and the powder throw, because the powder throw for a single stage, you can set it for all of your guns. So they'll take their powder throw, they'll measure each single charge to be exactly the same amount, like to the thousandths for the grains, and they're making super accurate rounds. Me, I get it, as long as I get it to where I want it, I'm happy. Does this vary a little bit? It might vary a little bit, but not enough to where I'm going to notice. Someone who's shooting at 1,000 yards or so might notice a difference using something like this versus weighing out every single charge. So, and they might get an expensive powder throw. I know like RCBS or Hornady has a digital one where you punch in how much you want it, and it gives you that amount of grains each time you punch it in. So it just depends on how accurate you want to be and what you're looking for. Now, why I decided to go to a progressive press was I shoot a lot of rounds, you know, a lot. And for me, it's worth the reload. Instead of buying ammo off the shelf or online, it made sense to just reload mine. I mean, in a couple years, this will be paid for, you know, and that's what a lot of reloaders will say. You're saving money by using this. It takes a couple years to pay for itself, but eventually it will, you know. And then your investment, you made your money back. So, but if you're a guy who shoots like 200 rounds a year of 9mm, and then you're asking me if you want to reload, I'm like, if you're only shooting 200 rounds a year, man, just buy the ammo. You know, reloading is for very serious shooters. You're gonna spend a lot of time reloading, especially if you go to single stage. I didn't like the single stage because it's just a lot of tedious work. The progressive is really fun. To me, I like to cruise along and make my rounds and make good quality rounds, and the Dillon does that for me. Single stage, you can make really good quality rounds too. I'm not trying to dog the single stage. I just feel that people who start on a single stage are going to end up on a progressive. And if you want to go to a progressive, I would just get the Dillon. That's just how I am. Now people will ask me like, well, what if you do like 300 of one caliber and 1,000 of a different caliber? I'm like, go with a progressive. You're loading over 1,000 rounds already. I tell people, if you're reloading over 1,000 rounds a year, and that's all together with everything, you might want to go to a progressive. If you're loading at least 500 rounds of one caliber and then 500 rounds of another, and that's your 1,000 rounds for the year, get a progressive. Now, if you're only doing one specific caliber and it's 1,000 rounds, progressive. Now, say you're doing 30-06. I only do 300 rounds, maybe 400 rounds of 30-06. Maybe you want to get to single stage. But if you go to like, say you go to a 308 and now you shoot 30-06 and 308, and you're shooting like 300 rounds of 308, 400 rounds of 30-06, maybe you should go with a progressive. It'll help you load it a lot faster. But and the caliber changes on the Dillon are real simple. Once everything's set, it's set, man. You don't really have to do a whole lot. But that's what it comes down to, is which press is going to be right for you. I went with the Dillon just because it's quicker and faster, and I get a lot of rounds cranked out. Now, I'm not in a hurry when I do this. People think, you know, you have a progressive press, you're just in it to crank out rounds really, really fast. No, I go slow. I mean, I'll show you a video later on of me using it. I don't go fast. You'll see guys online. You can look up Dillon 650 XL speed, and you'll see guys just cranking them up real fast, and I don't like that, because what if you mess up, you know? And you will mess up when you're reloading. That's why you never exceed your maximum pressure loads. You always check your work, and you go slow. If you go slow and you check your work and you watch what you're doing, you'll be fine. I've only had one problem with a round. That was a squib. Somehow with my Delrin 550, the charge didn't get put at 357, so only the primer went off, and it went about an inch down the barrel. And so we got a rod and pounded it out. But I noticed the problem. I was like, it went pow, and it didn't really make any noise. And I was like, squib. I already knew what it was. So you just gotta pay attention. And have I had any problems since then? No. Have I seen other people use my press and reload and have problems? Like, yes, I have. And you just gotta watch what you're doing. I'm not the only one who uses this press. I have another guy who invested about $250 in helping me get this press, and he comes over and uses it. He has his own stuff, so you know, I taught him how to use it, and he knows what to do. But I tell him, I'm like, before you use it, make sure when you're doing it to check everything, make sure everything's right, everything's set up where you want it. Because when I come in here, I double check everything. I check the measurements. I measure my rounds and make sure no one's screwed with anything. So other than that, guys, just start looking around at presses, see what you want, see how many rounds you want to do, and that's the best place to start. Is do you want to do single stage or progressive? And that's pretty much what it boils down to, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will try to do the best to answer them. I'm still a rookie. I've been doing this for about 1.5 years, and I started on a progressive press. Everyone in the forums, and I hate forums. See, I'm not a forum guy. The only time I read forums is if a forum pops up in a search I'm doing. So if I'm looking for an answer for something. But everyone talks about doing a single stage press to start off first. I'm like, I started on the 550B. That's a progressive press. You can look it up. It's just one step down from this. I learned. Was it a pain in the ass to learn this? Hell yeah. You know, there's times when you just want to throw that thing in the fucking trash. excuse my language, but there will be times when you'll be doing this on the progressive press, and you're going to lose your mind. You're going to be stressed out. You're going to be pissed off. You're going to be cussing. You know, you're going to be on YouTube looking for videos like, I'm having this problem. How come no one else is having this freaking problem but me? And you know, when I have days like that, when I first started reloading, I would just walk away and come back like 2 days later. I'm like, screw it. I'll come back in 2 days, take a break, and then come back and figure the problem out. So though you will have stress. I'm telling you right now, you'll be stressed out and you'll be really pissed off that you bought it, and then 2 days later you'll go back and like, oh, that's what's wrong. All right, you know. And Dylan, great customer service. If a part breaks, they just send me another one. I call them up, say, hey, part number, blah blah blah, it's bent. I don't know how it got bent. They're like, all right, new one's in the mail. I'm like, okay. So that's what I love about Dylan too. Their customer service is just, it's awesome. So anyway, guys, I think I talked to you long enough. So next video I'll probably talk about the accessories that you're going to need to buy, or buy something similar. There's plenty of accessories and stuff, but you will need to have some stuff. You can't just get the press and be like, da da da, you know, look at me, I can make rounds. Like, no, there's a little bit more, like even cleaning your brass and prepping it, and then some of the other stuff I'll show you. So until then, I will see you guys later.